Alexa, raise volume to max. No, we sweat nothing tonight. Nothing. R8RBEAR! Woo! Let's go! Assaltante Oso, that bear you all know. Out of hibernation to entertain Raider Nation! What? You heard me. You watch. I'm gonna shut all this down. Woo. Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! Woo! The R8RBEAR! No steroids involved. Raiders! Let's go! Devante who? Yeah, that's what I got to say about it. Put butts in him. Playing with the news, acting like you're disgruntled or something. Complaining the whole time you've been here. Why? Because you lost Derek Carr. Oh, now maybe there'll be rumors that I'm going to follow him to St. Louis. Oh, New Orleans Saints. No. Personally, I could care less. But he's going to go there. He's going to be a loser. And that comment fits either guy. So if you say who, just apply it to whichever guy you think I was talking about. I mean, what? He was in Green Bay all that time with Aaron Rodgers, and what did he do with him there? So they won a bunch of games. So what? They put a ring on it? No. Then you came chasing after Derek, and we got rid of him. Boo-hoo. I don't want to play with a rookie. Good, okay. Go lose somewhere else. You don't have to lose with us. That's fine by me. Alexa, stop. What's up, fam? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you all tuning in for Raider Bear Live. I am your host, the Raider Bear, and I would appreciate it if all of you... What? No, just stop. Alexa, stop. Don't start with me. She gets kind of back sassy sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so anyway, about the whole Devante attitude, let's just get it all out in the open right now. Okay, when Derek Carr was sent away, that was crime number one, okay? He was already ready to go when that happened. When that occurred, he was done. Okay, now, was he done that he could do anything about it, though? No, because he still had a contract with us, and obviously he still has to honor that contract. Players that don't honor contracts don't end up getting good deals with, teams later on because they can't be trusted. So fast forward, Derek Carr's gone, and now he says, and I quote, "I'm not playing with some rookie quarterback." Now, Devante Adams then lets the world know he's not going to play with Aiden O'Connell or anyone else. Now, at first, he was on board because Coach was talking about Jaden Daniels, and we thought we had a real shot, but then the hype around Daniels got so big, and more scouts kept coming out and basically saying, yeah, the kid's the real deal. Whoever gets him, they're going to have the real deal. And now we see what Washington has, the real deal. He looks good. Now, having said that, fast forward, we get Aiden O'Connell. He's like, I'm out. But again, his contract's not under his control. Now, coming up, end of the season, it will be. And he doesn't want to wait. So what he's doing is he's starting to fuss in the press, like he always does, and has since he got here. As you remember, many of you remember, it was the only thing I've ever said I don't like about the guy. He talks too much. That's all I said. You talk too much. If you have a problem with the quarterback or something that happened with the coach or whatever, go in the locker room and tell him like a man. Don't come on television like it's social media and rant with your pretty long twisted hair and think we care, because we don't. I mean, as you can see, as you guys can see, I'm a little bit mad. I'm a little bit mad because he's leaving salty. See, I don't like that. He's saying that like Coach AP dogged him on a comment he made on social media, and they even made reference to the fact that Antonio Pierce, watch my face, that Antonio Pierce was doing this kind of thing. You know, like it's so, this is, I don't even want to talk about that, debutante wide receiver. Okay, so he chose to use that and say, you know what, I'm Devante Adams. He should appreciate me more. He clearly doesn't there. I want to be traded. Now, I don't think that had anything to do with it. You have to remember, guys, there's a certain amount of politics in anything that this much money carries. So when you have athletes like politicians and the jobs they can get with the power they will have, etc., you'll do it and say anything, you know what I mean, to get what you want, to get where you want to go. But in this instance, he's trying to put pressure on us through the press because of what he imagined AP did. And again, even if he did that, what's wrong with saying, I'm not happy with how a certain guy played or didn't play. Now, we've all been programmed, and a lot of my audience has been saying, you keep matters like that in the locker room. Now, I want to make a new observation, okay? I want to make a new one, okay? Here's my observation. Since I say we've been taught to say that, I don't mean that we're dumb or like cattle or something, because I included me in that. I'm Raider Nation, obviously. But why is it a coach can't go in on a guy when he's the coach? I don't care who the player is. That's what I like. I mean, I often use the NBA to reference to things, but I mean, some of the greatest coaches ever, they get right in the chin of Shaq, Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron, Tim Duncan, whoever it was in their era. But you light them up, man. You got to say to them, hey, you're my best player. Get these guys accountable. Go out there and tell them, we got to do better. You know what I mean? I don't understand why we've lost that. You know what I mean? I realize things are politically correct and everybody wants to not say things that hurt people's feelings. Okay, but see, feelings, I can't with that. No cap. If you're concerned about your feelings, don't play. You know what I mean? These are men paying for their rent and mortgage and their cars and their boats and their wives' clothes and their small business their wife wants to open because you're a rich NFL football player or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I'm getting off my point. I apologize. So what's going on with Devante? Devante never wanted to be with a rookie quarterback. He couldn't have. He had no control over his contract, so even asking for a trade would have been embarrassing had he done it last year or the year before that. But now with so little time left on his contract, now he could say, let me go somewhere. It's obvious that this team's not going anywhere. So see, I don't know how another club could see how he's acted here and be like, oh yeah, bring that guy here. I think Devante Adams is still a very good wide receiver, but is he young? No. So for those of you who say, oh, we should get a first round pick for him, that's not going to happen. And then more importantly, what was the other thing that dropped that we know about? And we know about it just because it's just common sense. You come to the R8RBEAR, I give you common sense, okay? I always give you the truth, okay? Here it is. Remember, we just had, wide receiver, the guy Amon-Ra with the Lions got a bonus and a raise or whatever. Brandon Ayuk with the Niners, bonus and a raise. Jefferson with the Vikings, bonus and a raise. The league was basically seeing that the elite wide receiver money was starting to change. And you had Tyreek Hill way up at the top making a bunch of money. And so here's Devante Adams way down the list. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember exactly. I apologize because I should give you the exact number. But He was pretty low on the list. I mean, like 10th, 12th, something like that. It was low. And now, does that mean we should automatically have to give him a bonus? Hell no. Hell no. Okay? But I'm giving you both sides. If I'm Devante Adams, I ask for that bump up. If I don't get the bump up, now I'm pissed because I've already shown some loyalty. I've kept my mouth shut, and I'm trying to play with these young quarterbacks. Speaking of which, remember I told you guys that by football rules, football honor, so to speak, when a guy has a job and he performs it well, generally they don't lose their job unless they start to perform poorly or they get hurt, and then when they come back, they're not the same. Okay, so now fast forward my point to back last year when Aiden O'Connell led us to 5 or 6 wins, and we saw some hope in the kid. Fast forward to this year, and he loses the job, even though Gardner Minshew did not outplay him. He didn't, guys. He did not outplay him. Now, was it close? Sure. AOC didn't exactly dominate Gardner Minshew either. He did throw one interception on the exact same play, even the same route as Gardner Minshew. But when the defender came over, he caught the ball when AOC threw it. When Gardner Minshew made the same mistake in the read and threw to the same receiver, the defender jumped in front of it and dropped it. And literally, I know some of you remember what I'm talking about. If you do, give me hearts, because I want my audience to know I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so now fast forward. He's out in his mind because you're not paying him enough. Okay, and he's on a team that's not going anywhere. He in his mind, he's been a team player trying to work with AOC and Gardner Minshew, who was given the starting role to pacify Devante Adams. When does Coach AP, okay, when does Antonio Pierce make smart-ass, remarks and suck his teeth and things like that? When he sees or hears something that smells and he don't like it. And that's why when they asked him questions about what if Devante leaves, he went, what if he does? Next question, and you just act indifferent to it. Now, I'm not going to say that's exactly what he did, but he did look off indifferent. Like, hey, if he leaves or he stays, I don't care. You know what I mean? And now Devante's, guys, he's not going to go to the Jets. And even if he goes to the Jets, it's just another money grab. He'll get his bump up from the Jets. Let me tell you right here. I have it right here. The Jets have 16,800,000 and change. It's 809,151, 151. But it's essentially if we let's round up. Okay, it's 17 million. They have 17 million. Okay, if they had to scratch a few pennies, they could get it because we're talking about 16.8 million. So they could get to 17 if they really needed to. Okay, so. With that much cap space, could they sign Devante Adams? Absolutely. Can they give him the bonus he wants? Absolutely. But they can't work out a long-term deal or all that with him because they won't know what their cap space is going to be like going into next season and with the other players on the roster and da-da-da-da-da-da. So they would just bring him in, give him something like some contract on the table that's, massive but isn't guaranteed. He gets there with his boy. They reignite things and they suck. They'll suck. You've seen the Jets' offensive line. And by the way, even if it wasn't the offensive line, when have the Jets not sucked? Oh, wait. Joe Namath. That's it. That is it. That is the only thing that has happened in the city that never sleeps. That is disgraceful to me. The fact that the New York Giants haven't won as long as they have, that is disgraceful to me. These are New York-based franchises, and you're giving that kind of effort? Saleh, the coach of the Jets, is on the hot seat. The guy, what's his face, that was the hot coordinator, got the Giants job. He's on the hot seat. And they should be. They should be. Okay? When you're in Metropolis and you got that gangster money, you gotta win, man. And I know it sounds crazy to say because they haven't won, or been a winner in so long. Even the last time they were a winner, it was kind of like when Derek was a winner for us. It was like, yeah. You know what I mean? They look like they improved a little bit, but nah. I put up a video, by the way, on R8RBEAR family page that shows that I had Derek Carr's back. I did. I never dogged that guy. I did a whole skit for him. Jerome Coleman, my twin brother in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Okay, now, by the way, just to cap space real quick, because where do we think he'll go? Probably the most logical place. The most logical place, because see, he's going to want a quarterback. I don't think he's going to want the situation with the Jets. But then again, does he care if they lose if he gets his numbers? Because I'm a firm believer, if we had gotten Devante like ridiculous numbers every week and we still had the exact same record, he wouldn't be going anywhere. He wouldn't be going anywhere. If he saw his stats staying high like they were with the Packers, but his yardage was like always in between the 20s and he only gets a touchdown here and there, he wouldn't be asking for this trade. You know what I mean? But he wants the trade because of his age. This is just the business end of it. Because of his age and because of the fact that he's not getting younger and these other new up-and-coming, wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb and others. I think CeeDee Lamb's number one. They all got re-up deals. And so it's only rightful that if Devante Adams is considered one of the best in the league, and he is, then if it's his time to get his bump up because everyone else did, you got to pay the man. And this is one of the instances where the Raiders make me nuts. Because if you really love the guy and you have the money, why aren't we paying him? Just give him the money. You know what I mean? Well, because we're a middling of the road team, and any decision like that you make to give someone the package affects the rest of your growth. So, for example, if AP thinks he can really build this team into something, he probably doesn't want to put a big chunk of that into Devante Adams. And right now, you almost have to. So, to me, you make the move right now. Don't just let him go and lose him for nothing. Even if you get lowballed in second-round picks and all that stuff, just go. I mean, they've already projected that we would get a high second-round pick, 2 second-round picks the following year that, no, that wasn't exactly how it went. It was a second-round pick guaranteed, and I think it was a second late-round pick. For some reason, I'm seeing all these twos. It was like 2 and 2, and then next year it was 2 and 2. But the 2 and 2 in the following season don't have to be guaranteed. But the first 2 in the first deal have to be guaranteed. So it's kind of like a first-round pick because you're getting a high second-round pick and a low second-round pick. And most people are pissed off. Even Dame Lillard of the Milwaukee Bucks, came forward and was like, dude, if the Raiders make this trade and only get a second-round pick, I'm done. Now, I know he doesn't mean he's done as a fan because Dame Lillard ain't like that. He's from Oakland. But I would say he will be very pissed off because we're giving up on a weapon because he's mad. You know what I mean? I think that you should hang on. Kind of the way he's being coached right now maybe isn't a good idea. Maybe he shouldn't have sucked his teeth and made a big deal. Maybe he should have just said to Devante, let me see what I can do. I don't want to seem like I'm just, song and dancing you. I'm going to really see. I'm going to sit down with Mark. I'm going to sit down with Telesco and see what we can really put together for you. You know what I mean? And try to do like what you did maybe for Josh Jacobs before he left and just give him that little bump up. Now, we know what that did. It basically sent Josh Jacobs off to another team. But in this instance, I think it's only fair. And you don't look bad even if the same thing happens again. The reason why is because you pay him to justify that you're that kind of team. So see, we won't be looked at like we're suckers if you do that. I look at most teams that do that. I think that's cool because what you're saying to them is, yeah, you deserve to be paid like these other guys, but we can only give you this little bump up. But here's your $2.2 million. Okay, thanks. Go out there, play hard. Following year, adios. You know what I mean? Rodney Fuller, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. He says, sad to see Adams go, but if he wants out, I'd love to trade him to Pittsburgh and get Pickens on return. Woo. But that's not likely. Well, Rodney Fuller, it's not necessarily about whether it's likely. There is a chance that their coach and their coaching staff might recognize the veteran presence that a Devante Adams would bring to the offense, and they may want it for that reason. Now, don't count the Jets out. I know there's people on here right now that are screaming about it's going to be the Jets, it's going to be the Jets, and I want to address them directly real quick. I'm telling you honestly, I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily. I just don't think that from what we've seen from the Jets so far and Rodgers, how could you possibly believe that him just going there would fix things? Their offensive line is terrible. Their offensive packages are terrible and kind of obvious, which is the same thing Luke Getsy's been getting yelled at in the press, that his offense is too predictable. Well, you're seeing that now with the Jets. You know what I mean? I don't know. He's going to want to go somewhere where somebody can sling the rock. And, to me, that maybe means the Eagles. The Buccaneers, give that kid another target. Who knows? Mr. R8RBEAR, Grampy was called to Washington last night, and he said he might be pulling on an all-nighter tonight. Oh, wow. All right, Grandpa. Well, if you're watching, much love to you, brother, and keep driving safe. And we all love you. And Tommy wants to make sure you get home safe, and he's going to tell you all about my show afterward. Armand Gonzalez said he acted like a big baby. Wah! That's the sentiment of most Raider Nation. Good evening to you, James Gray. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Adams or Penix? Straight up. Adams for Penix, straight up. I don't mind that, Larry Rosales. I really don't. I think that's a great idea. I would look out to... he's with Atlanta, right? I would look at Atlanta and make it an offer like that. That'd be interesting. Shout out to Spillane, Polamalu, and Snowden for holding it. Snowden, excuse me, for holding it down. Some of our players got some rest, and we still got the dub. Go Raiders! Yeah, honestly, and Dustin, I appreciate you. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. And I'm sorry I just rolled right in the show. I didn't do my medal round tonight. I just wanted to get to go and get talking, and we'll do it again tomorrow night. But I really like Spillane. I liked him right when we made the trade. Snowden. And the effort he put out on that last play was incredible. You can see that Coach Antonio has not lost the locker room at all. I thought there was a real chance he could lose the locker room. But instead, the locker room responded like, hey, guys, he's old school. We're not used to that, you know what I mean, because we're all younger guys. But that's how they did it. And that's how he wants to do it, And I don't mind it, guys. He's just saying, do your job. And if we don't do our job, we should expect we'll get fired, whether it's him as the coach saying it or any other coach. If another coach comes on and is real nice, you're still going to lose your job. Put foots in you. If another guy comes on and another coach comes on, he's like a drill sergeant, and you play well, then you'll stay. If you don't, you'll be out. That's how it works. Now, Devante just wants out because he said to us clearly 3-4 years ago, I don't want to play for rookie. Soon as Derek Carr was gone, he was just letting it be known in the public eye. So he's just been biding his time, waiting to leave. Essentially, that's it. I don't want to say he was never a Raider. I don't think that's fair. But very early on, coinciding with Derek Carr leaving, he made up his mind that he wasn't going to stay there. Especially, you got to really, really believe that if he ends up following him to the Saints. If he follows him to the Saints, then, that's it. It means every day he was with us, he was waiting to leave. You know what I mean? And to me, that's not cool. That's worse than him being a crybaby and whining about it and so on and so forth. He's got to put up the numbers or shut up. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't, he doesn't. And I mean, he hasn't been terrible or anything, but he hasn't been great, like we kind of expect from that guy. He's just been good. Part of that's the quarterback play, but be honest, haven't we seen some drops from that guy on what you could call, relatively easy plays? We saw drops, and I don't know, was that intentional? I know that sounds low. I don't care. I mean, it looks now like he's just been biding his time. You know what I mean? Oh, now it's right around that time when I can force things, so I'm out. He did the same thing with Green Bay. Yeah, he did. But, okay, I want to be clear, and I know I'm kind of all over the place here because I want to be fair. I'm trying to hit all sides of this. if I'm Devante Adams, I consider doing the same thing. We did kind of flip-flop on him with the Derek Carr thing. We acted like it was going to be this kumbaya, and when they came together, I was just going to lead to winning in the playoffs, and we were going to upset the Chiefs. And then immediately, Derek Carr's out. You know what I mean? And then, he's pissed off about that. So we go, well, we're going to go get the quarterback of the future. We're going to go find a guy, and you come back with AOC, who even I will admit is not dynamic. I like him. I like AOC a lot. I think he's going to be a winner. Wherever he ends up, he's going to be a winner. I promise you. That is not a backup quarterback. He's a starter. And we gave up on him too fast because Devante Adams wanted the more seasoned quarterback. That's right. I'm saying it. And I don't know anyone else that said it. I sound like P. Diddy's bodyguard. Letting off the big secret of the night. I'd need my hat more to the side to tell it like the P. Diddy bodyguard. Yeah, yo, I'm telling you, I'm honest. I'm telling you, yo, that's how it worked. For real. No, the Diddy, listen to me. With Devante, you got to ask to go. You got to ask to go. You got to, because he's at the point where this could be the last, if not the second to the last kind of contract like this that he can justify by his physical abilities, his age, and not necessarily his numbers, because he is a little bit older. I said age, but that really doesn't benefit him right now. But how he's played and the kind of player he's been will entice someone. Probably the Saints, but I don't know if they pull the trigger. Now let me look real quick. Let me see here. Where are they at? Oh, they're way down here. Okay, here we go. The Saints have $2.7 million in free cap space, so they would have to dump some players to get to the kind of numbers they would need to get to pay him. I don't know how many of you heard me say where the Raiders cap space is. It is $27.6 million, so roughly 28. And we have the fifth most cap space in the NFL right now. All right. But Larry Rosales, the proposal you made, I like that. But I don't. It only works for us, Larry. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work for the Falcons. You get Devante Adams, but now you don't have your quarterback of the future in waiting. You got old Kirk Cousins, who's, he's good. Kirk Cousins is pretty good, but I've always felt like Kirk Cousins is just like Gardner Minshew. You know what I mean? He can run around, he can throw a few and sling it and look good and run in the locker room. You like that? And all that stuff. Put the foots in him. But I like him because of his money manager, man. That guy got three separate $90 million contracts over a 3-year period. He got $90 million, $90 million, $90 million, just like that. Look it up. Kirk Cousins, listen to me. Kurt Cousins. His contract, oh my God. His agent is so good. He did the same thing with Green Bay. I said that already. Mauricio Cortez feels better to be 2-2 instead of 1-3. And also, Josh McDaniels ruined everything from the start. Mauricio, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Josh McDaniels was a nincom and a poop. But to see us 2-2 makes hope for the future. Now, I do think we should make a move with Devante Adams. I do. I don't like it when you have a guy that's a max player on a team that's pretty good. We're not great, guys, okay? We're good. I know you guys are excited about the defense and how well it's playing, and it is. But we're not great. We don't have an answer at running back. We don't have a definitive answer at quarterback. We're getting average play from the two of the most important positions you have. The running back, which establishes, yards on the field. He literally is your yard marker mover, is your running back. You got to get those 3 yards here, 4 yards there, so you can be into, short passing situations or running where you can run anything in the playbook. I don't think the Falcons are going to want to give up their future for whatever Devante Adams wants to do, because Devante Adams will see the same quarterback situation. He'll see a veteran that can get him the ball, but he's small. You know what I mean? He's getting a little bit older. How long is Kurt going to be there? He's been on, this is his third or fourth team, so. It's funny, Bear. My son says you said he was the best receiver in the league. I said he still is, but if he doesn't want to be a Raider, he could go. Whatever, Adams. Well, Darren Patterson, that's a great family photo, brother. Good looking. And I would say this to you. I do think that he's the best receiver in football, but he's had drops with us, I think, because his head is somewhere else. He's thinking about his stats. He's thinking about what team he could go to. He's thinking about whether he should follow Derek or maybe go to the Chiefs or something cruel like that. that would just be devious. Hey, Andy Reid, come on, man. We we got to do this. You bring me in, I can tell you their plays. We'll beat them up even worse than you've already been doing. Shut up. You guys, we beat them last time. Twice. Adams wants out, but I'm fine. Trade him for a quarterback, which we can't win without. Michael Ross, welcome to the show. And I would say a great profile pick. And I would say again, I agree with trading Adams. It's not because he's not one of the best wide receivers in football. It's business. It's business. Why do you think I opened up at the beginning of the show talking about the wide receivers and the bump ups they've been getting? Because it directly affects Adams. And see, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with who his quarterback is or what kind of offense they're in. Now you're just getting around where, hey guys, you see all those other wide receivers are getting new contracts and new money? I'm better than most of those guys. I mean, and not by a little. So, you got to pay him his money, and I just don't think they want to pay him his money. I don't think it's necessarily that we don't have it, but you're in another situation where you're going to pay a Josh Jacobs or a Devante Adams for the other side of their career with us when they're going to just, drag their feet around, who knows what. What person do you know of that was disgruntled at a job and knew they were going to leave in a year, ever acted like they were happy about it and worked harder? I mean, we've all worked with someone at least once who knew he was leaving in 6 months or something like that for another job, and he just half-assed it, the rest of the way around. Don't use that term, Tommy, because you just do that. I didn't, but people do that. All right, I did it. I did it one job. I was like 17. Jesse Parker, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Woo! Little Ric Flair for my boy. My guy, Wenchy, soon to be married because of his smooth-talking brother, friend from another mother, myself, the R8RBEAR, speaking nuptials to his beautiful soon-to-be wife. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Adams wants out, and I think Max is next. The organization has gone nowhere for 20 years, and they're realizing that. I think Adams ends up in New Orleans. Honestly, that makes the most sense. It just does. Carr can throw the rock around. He showed he could still do that. He wants someone that's an insurance policy. See, Adams, to me, is one of the best in the game just for the simple fact that he's one of the best combat catching wide receivers there is. So when you throw a ball to him and guys start chopping at his arms and they're blasting through his lower back and his legs and things, he usually holds on to the ball. He's usually pretty reliable about that kind of thing. Now, he's been kind of hit and miss of late, but for the most part, he's usually the guy that comes down with the ball. You know what I mean? Especially the year he did play with Carr. If you remember that, because Derek Carr was the kind of guy, he treated that like a basketball play. And he would treat Devante Adams like a power forward and just throw the ball up high and let him box the guy out with his strength and then go up for the ball. And usually came down with it, you know what I mean? They used to say 50-50 balls for him were more like, 70-30, 80-20, that kind of thing. Reyes, they saying that Adams asked for a trade on Monday before AP liked that post. That might have been what motivated AP to have that attitude. I hadn't even thought about it that way. I was just basically saying, I don't care if it was about the post or not about the post. All that's BS. That has nothing to do with it. AP and what he said, that's all just fabricated, in my opinion, by Devante Adams. And I'm saying out loud, I want everyone to understand what I'm saying. Even if that's fabricated, I don't care. I don't think that's dirty play. It's negotiations. And unfortunately, that's where we are. We're at a point where we have to negotiate with one of our best players, even though he's under contract, because he has control in the fact that obviously you want to pay a guy that's a stud, and you don't want to lose studs to potential rivals in your own division, etc. So he has leverage because everyone knows he can still play. Everyone knows he hasn't taken any big injury with the Raiders, and he's ready to go. And so he's making his feelings known, and if we gave him the bonus, he wouldn't leave. I guarantee you if we gave him the bonus, he wouldn't leave. But he knows we're not going to give it to him. Remember, all those bonuses for CeeDee Lamb and all those other wide receivers, that happened months ago. So he knew that he knew he wasn't going to get his bump. So I want to be traded. James Garrison, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Darren Patterson said old school football. That's right. Dustin King, that's how I would put it. It's time to make business moves, and you just have to do that. Now, you guys notice I blew right through what you guys said about Max Crosby. Now, what one of my commenters basically said is Max Crosby's next. That's incorrect. See, in Max Crosby's instance, he's much younger. He's on your defense. Your coach is a defensive-minded coach who came from the position of linebacker when he played in the NFL himself. So there is no way he's going to let him go unless he sees him being less productive. And we all know that Max is not less productive. He's a Tasmanian devil on steroids with a tequila shot. Yeah, he's nuts. And we've already given him one bonus. To me, that's just evidence right there. You're not going to let that guy go. If he wants another bump up, he'll get it. Sooner or later, they'll talk about it. He'll get his money. John Leon, I can't mention you were the first place winner. I didn't even look at it. George Prieto, Chucky was like that. He didn't like one player to tie his hands while he was in the middle of the building process. But once he gets toward the end of what he feels, whatever coach it is, once they get to where they feel like they're in the building process, if they're toward the end, they'll sometimes say, okay, now what other money do we have left to go out in free agency and get this guy that can really attack? Or they say, you know what, that matters so much more to me because I'm an offensive-minded coach, like Kingsbury when he was the offensive coach from USC while he was coaching with the Cardinals. Okay, that guy was all about, get me receivers, give me a quarterback. I need offensive linemen. You know what I mean? Even though defense matters, and as a coach, he has to know that. He knew that, sexy sells, and that's offense. And so he was trying to build something, it just failed. You know what I mean? Because he had a video game playing immature quarterback. I can't even really believe that actually happened, looking back.
We put a stipulation in his contract that he can't play too much video games when he's supposed to be doing his video study.
Is this serious? This is a guy that has to have lawyers and managers to manage his career and sign documents. He's feeding his family and paying bills. That guy needs a reminder to not play video games. That's pretty funny. I don't want that guy. By the way, I just want to make that clear. I know he's going to be in free agency and all that. I'm not interested in that guy. If you look at what Kyler Murray really is, Kyler Murray is a guy who plays like, and I'm making an old reference here, so I apologize, but he plays like Fran Tarkington. And the only reason why I picked that guy, and I know Edward Winchell, my guy Winchy, is going to get what I mean by this. Tarkington was one of those guys that he would snap the ball, and he would almost look to start running around and scrambling and make defensive guys miss him and just get them tired and let his offensive receivers have some time to run around like they're on a school lot trying to get open. And the moment they did, Tarkington would stop juking everyone. He'd stop and throw a laser at him. And unfortunately, unfortunately, I think we have that kind of quarterback right now. I had another point I was going to make, but right after I said that, I was like, yeah, that's kind of what Gardner Minshew wants to do. I mean, you notice he played better when they finally took the reins off him again. Every time they tell him, go out there and play organically. Just do what you see, call the play, and do what you see. If you feel like the line's breaking down and you feel like you have to move and roll, fine. They gave up that fight with him, and he's getting it, and he's doing it, and it's working for him. Adam's going to the Saints. We were just a top 10 offense 3 years ago. Gabriel Banda, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Like that profile pic, brother. I would say this about the whole thing. I don't care where he goes. I don't think it's going to end well. I think he's just going to go make money. You know what I mean? If he really just wanted to win football games, be a part of something that's building. You know what I mean? I mean, does he really need the money? You know what I mean? Now, in truth, again, the other side of it, that was the fan in me speaking. You know what I mean? He got to go. You got to go get the money. If you can get it, you got to go get it. Poor excuse. Kind of saw it coming since he was out for the Browns on a bogus injury. Yeah, George A. Zaragoza, your family's beautiful, and I got to say this to you, man. There's evidence from things he's done throughout the years leading up to this, things he said himself that make this, look obvious now. You You know what I mean? I mean, I realize we all can say it now and act like we knew, all along. But in reality, as real Raider fans, we obsess about our team. We do that, okay? That's why I do this show. Okay, I obsess about it. So we want to know what's going on every day. We want to know who's getting picked and who's trading and who's getting cut. What's the coach going to do? And so on and so forth. So we follow everything. You know what I mean? So, the injury looked BS. And I think he's trying to orchestrate a trade, and I think he'll get it. And I think that will work out in the benefit of the Raiders. I like the idea of not acting like all hope is lost because you lose one guy on the offense. Now, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, you're going to get your real DJ Turner. You're going to get real opportunities now. The ball's coming. And can we please put Dylan Laube on the football field? What the hell? I mean, I pumped this guy up for days. I don't mind admitting it. We haven't seen him on the field at all. We saw him look good in the preseason, and then they just shelved the guy, and it seems like in a meat locker. I mean, he's not even getting a couple snaps. What the blue hell is going on? The guy's got moves, great hands. He's smart. His vision is impeccable. Let him play. I'm saying it now out loud to speak it into existence, so you guys all remember. When you see Dylan Laube get out there and play, and suddenly everybody goes, who's this guy? The Bear gave you this guy months ago. Antoine Anthony, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Feelings are not facts. Tell him, Larry. Hey, Larry, tell him. Edward, my guy Winchie Adams never said he's bigger than the Shield. Well, he may not have said that, Edward, but he's acted like it the whole time he's been here. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, if you don't, that's cool, but he's been talking since he got here. Ever since the Derek Carr thing happened, he's been pissed. I mean, and okay, I get it. You're playing for young quarterbacks, and guys were trying to find and get him in here, and that idiot Garoppolo for 10 minutes, that was embarrassing. I don't care what anyone says about it. It was embarrassing. The fact that we made a deal with, brought him in, and actually expected him to be something for us was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. It made Josh McDaniels look stupid. It made Garoppolo look stupid. It made Mark Davis look the same. Stupid. That was already in place with him, so nothing new there. All right, let's get a second round pick for the guy. He's old. Well, I think we can get a 2 and a following 2. And that's it. And probably cash. They'll probably do something with cash exemption. Rams, we're probably going to get a pair of 2s. Edwards wants out of an organization that's going nowhere. Honestly, Edward, I'm a little bit pissed. I don't want to go with him in that regard, but you almost have to. Okay, so we got Coach AP, right? All the fan base went crazy. We were all happy about it. We were so happy about it, we weren't paying attention to why aren't we going out there and trying to make deals? Why aren't we out there trying to make trades? Why aren't we bringing more people in from free agency who can actually play? It's frustrating. It's frustrating because a lot of this leads back to the top with the dysfunctionality of Mark Davis. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I've been doing this podcast for 10 years. This is my 10th year in this podcast. Okay, so consider a subscription to Raider Bear Family Page. It's just $5 a month and you can cancel anytime. That's on Facebook. If you click on that green badge down there, it's right next to the blue thumbs up. You're on your way to subscribe to Raider Bear Live. And I remind people, it's effectively $60 for the whole year. $5, that's nothing. And on YouTube, free. So hit that bell, hit like, subscribe, and we'll keep it rolling together. Pete Merrill, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. We could trade them for Brandon. Are you for the 49ers? Let's do a trade. I think, honestly, if you do a trade with the Niners, it could work because they have a lot of cap space, and they have a quarterback that's proven himself. So I could understand that, but I don't think if I'm Adams. I don't think I want to go there as Adams, because if you go there as Adams, you're risking that the quarterback project, that guy Brody or Prody or whatever his name is, fizzles out. We've only seen a couple of seasons from him. We can't act like just because he's had good seasons because he was a 7th round pick, that means suddenly he's always going to be that way. You're getting a lot of tape on the guy now, a lot of people scouting him now these last few years, looking at the Niners' tendencies, and I don't know how many of you have noticed it, but the Niners are starting to struggle now because Shanahan always builds a tank. It always looks like it's going to win, and then it doesn't. Anna Diaz Rincon. There's my first supporter ever. Harold Skrilla Gear. What's up, man? Harold Donnell Gear Sr. I like that. Bear! Look at you, Harold. Looking smooth, man. And how much weight have you lost? Damn, man. You almost don't look recognizable. You look good. I mean, you look fit. I didn't mean that in a great way. You look good. Antoine Anthony, time to bring the Raider greats to the table about where and what direction our organization is headed. Not time to go backwards into mediocrity. Well, I don't think we'll go backwards, brother. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. And Antoine, I got to tell you, I don't think we're going to go backward. I don't think they're going to do that. But that's part of why I think you let Adams go. You don't want people on the ship that don't want to be on the ship. I don't care if he's a great player or not. If he doesn't want to be here, we're not really getting the output from him that we're supposed to, are we? You heard me make the analogy about, about disgruntled employees knowing that they're going to, you put in your 2-week notice. How do you work for that 2 weeks? Not so hard, huh? Don't mind calling in sick. And, he was doing the same sort of thing to us. So, hey, move on. Get what you can get for him. Negotiate something decent and move on. A decent coach would never have benched AOC after his success to start the season. Edward, I get that, and I'm saying to you, I think that might be the first mistake that AP made that's very visible. You see, I'm trying to be fair. It's my show, and I'm a Raider. I don't want to bash the guy. I love the guy, but it looks bad. It looks like he capitulated. Big words on the bear. Tommy, look up capitulated. It looks like Devante Adams got AP to capitulate to him, where he would say, hey, I like AOC, but I want the veteran. Raider fan, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there supporting the Raider there. Steven Shaw! Me and Steven Shaw have some very good conversations on my supporters only show. Great guy. His wife is really funny. Good stuff. Okay, we should have left that little ass boy where he was and got Flacco before the Colts did. Told y'all he is proven. Remember, he got a ring to back it up. Okay, Antoine Anthony first. If you make a Joe Flacco fan club, I will be the first to join. And I mean that seriously. I love him too. I think Joe Flacco, to me, he is a phenomenon. The fact that he practices, trains, and prepares himself to be ready at a moment's notice still, after all these years in the league, he still does the preparation of a starter. And that's because that's what he is. So he's just waiting for the opportunity that someone's going to give him again next time. And when he gets it, he wins. Joe Flacco's just one of those guys. He is a dude. You know what I mean? He's just one of those guys. If we could make a trade for him right now, I would do it. I would do it. He does get hurt. He is a dinosaur at this point, but he's still better than Gardner Minshew. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And he's still got as big an arm as anybody in football. I couldn't believe. Did you see the dart he threw in the man? He threw a rainbow dart and that sucker's pow. I love that guy. So I'm all with you there. Trade him for Hassan Reddick. Hassan Chop! I couldn't resist. Look it up. It's a Bugs Bunny cartoon where he goes into this desert cave and it's full of jewels and genie lamps and all this other stuff. And this gigantic guard comes out with this huge sword going, Hassan Chop! And he's trying to kill Bugs Bunny. You have to see the cartoon, okay? It's funny, I promise you. I'm a grown man. DK! Appreciate the love, brother. Raider fan, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. How are you doing, my brother Bear? Raider fan, I'm doing great. Love that picture, bro. So many, you know what? Don't you admit? I know I seem like I'm just being nice to everybody, but don't you admit, Raider fans, man, us guys, you know, that are married to Raider girls, you know, they're, you know. Not too many Raider girls I've seen that I wouldn't, you know. I'm sure, Steeler Val, I'm sure you're lovely, but it ain't better than a Raiderette. It don't get any better. Michael Eisner said, the Commanders, yeah, I know that's where our guy ended up, and he's playing pretty well. You know, honestly, I never freak out about a rookie until we really know what he's really going to do. And I don't know if you can say we know what Jaden Daniels is or any other quarterback in their rookie season. Remember, one of the greatest starts to a rookie season in the history of football was Herbert Jones and Dak Prescott. And look at them now. They're both languishing quarterbacks that seem to be going backwards, that show great potential, but never seem to be able to finish. Part of that's organization, part of it's mental, I think. He ain't winning a ring with New York if it didn't work before with Green Bay. Well, Raider Miguel, welcome to the show. That tattoo is dope. And I got to say to you, I agree with you, but I agree with you because I don't think the Jets understand where they are. Their coach, Robert Saleh, he's all right, but you're going to get so much pressure from the fans that the owner's probably going to fire him. Once you do that, you're starting over. So whether Devante Adams gets there or not, now he's starting a new offense, but literally not the one that is there now. But when he arrives, they're going to start something new. And if we do trade him there mid-season, like this, sometime this season, he's going to get on board and be able to run his routes and everything like that with Rodgers effectively in the first year? No. You know what I mean? Then they're going to fire the coach. Then you're going to bring a new coach in, new offense. Two guys, both a year older, and they're both already old. Does anyone know really for sure if their quarterback, Adams, is even going to keep going? If he goes there, Adams may retire. I mean, not Adams, listen to me. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers may retire after this season. Even if he gets Devante, he's going to try and go for it. But, you know, with that offensive line, the way he gets banged around, he'll get hurt again. He'll be out again. He'll be irrelevant, either out for the season or out long enough that the team will fall behind in the records, and he either won't make the playoffs or he'll get a bad spot and they'll get crushed by some good team. You know what I mean? And then next year will come. All the podcasting and that nonsense will go on. He's going to be older and stiffer, and you think he's going to want to go out there and go through the rigors again for maybe with the Jets? Aaron Rodgers is banged up too. After the Donkeys game, he is complaining about swollen knees. No guarantees that Rodgers even finishes this season healthy. Let Adams go to the Jets. It will end a disaster. Yeah, it's been funny to watch, James Garrison. I won't lie to you. I won't lie to you. My favorite whipping boys are the Broncos, the Jets, the Patriots, the Buccaneers. I love those guys. I love watching them lose. And most of all, the Niners. I love watching the Niners lose because they have everything that they should have to win. Every team around the league is jealous of the roster they were able to put together, and you've won nothing but a bunch of games between the 20s. Jesse Parker said send him to the Jaguars. Percentage wins wise, in the last 5 years, win-loss records, the worst team in the NFL is the Jaguars. So I absolutely agree with you. Put foots in him and go ahead and send him to the kitty cats. And that blonde-haired quarterback that can't stop fanning his hair. Oh, every 10 seconds he looks like Fabio and Tarzan had a baby. Oh, okay, I'm almost ready. How do I look, guys? Okay, we're going to run the ball, but I want to make sure it looks just right. I don't begrudge the guy. I mean, your hair is nice, but do you have to play with it so much? I've never seen a guy do that. I mean, that's something girls do. And I'm not calling him a girl, and even if I was, what's the big deal? But why do you keep doing that? He looks like one of those guys you saw in the cartoons that was a gay Adonis, and he just couldn't walk past a mirror without going, oh, ooh. I'm kind of like that. Joseph Bear, I'm good trading him. We don't have to pay them all that money and his age. Lucky, most people are on board with what you just said because you'd be paying for the second half of his career. But more important, Kenny Blair! Oh, wait. Pinky for the land of whiskey and crumpets. What's up, KB? Welcome to the show. Always appreciate you there for R8RBEAR Bear. Vernon Moshman said, let's see what deals Telesco can make for Adams. Time for him to get us something good in return. Vernon, if Telesco is worth his salt, what he'll do is he'll reach out to one of the teams that's willing to overpay, but not money necessarily. Bear with me on this one. The R8RBEAR with me moment. Now, I know that was ridiculous. If Telesco makes a good deal, he'll make it with a team that doesn't want to negotiate against other teams because Adams hits the market. So there'll be teams that reach out to them. There'll be teams that the Raiders reach out to. And we say, hey, we know you've got Aaron Rodgers. What would you do to pair him back up with Devante Adams? And for fair warning, New York, we're going to want something because the man can play and he can't just go there. We decide where he goes. So I'll send him off to purgatory. I'll send him off to hell. I'll send him to the Jaguars. Even that defensive end we got from the Jaguars recently, KJ Vason or whatever, that guy's playing, man. He was in on that last play, that sack that won the game. So even the guy we picked up, the defensive lineman from the Jaguars, he looks nice. Man, so many comments tonight. I'm sorry I missed so many of you guys tonight. Edgar Lucky Delio! Appreciate the love. And I'm just going to put those smiley faces on because my guy Edgar is loving the show. Oh, wait a minute. One more right there. I remember Hassan Chop! And you'll understand why I keep laughing when you see the cartoon. It's that funny. So every time you think in your mind about Hassan Chop, you'll see that character from that cartoon in your mind, and you will definitely laugh. Bear! Hi, Vicky! Mwah! Oh, I appreciate the emojis, too. Good night, everyone. Good night, Armand. See you tomorrow, brother. Oh, and whenever anyone says great show tonight, I got to put that up there. Appreciate the love, brother. Send Adams to the Liners. To the Lions. Oh, I like that. See, Alpha and Omega, man. That's a guy with a football. I'll pick his brain. He's got a football mind. Send Adams to the Lions. They got plenty of value and compensation for us. They do, because they got so many of those plays. So many of those young players that they have are just guys they picked that panned out. It's kind of like how the Warriors got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and they just, they didn't do anything special to get them. They just drafted them. And then they happened to grow into great players. I think we're seeing that with the Lions and that coach of theirs. That guy gets it done. The charisma off the charts. And that's a great call, Alpha. It really is. That's a great call. The Lions would be able to pay, and they'd be able to pay handsomely. Reddick is an older player, and the Eagles traded him to the Jets because Reddick wanted a huge contract, and Reddick is not playing and holding out from the Jets because the Jets won't pay him either. Well, I get all that, James, but I would say this to you. I don't know if you've been watching that guy, Van Noy, the one that used to play for the Patriots. He's super old, and he's with the Ravens now, and he's got like a sack or two in every game this year. He's killing it. He looks incredible. The age of an older football player today just isn't the same as what it was back in the day. Guys are playing into their 40s now, and they don't look old. Alexa! Play Hide by NASA. Did I trigger anybody's Alexa? I hope I did. Next time I'm going to say, Alexa, play Barry Manilow. Alexa, max volume. Should turn my volume up. What's up with that? Oh, Steven Shaw, one more time. That's my guy right there. Vernon Marshman, I don't like that. I don't like that trade. Bosa's always hurt, and he's a jackwagon. I'm not good with that guy. The R8RBEAR screen frame is fire with the graphics. Appreciate the love, brother. R8RBEAR! All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force, for all you do. The energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. I got Corinna. Alexa, play Hits by Chuck Mangione.
Here's some music by Chuck Mangione on Amazon Music.
That's so Deadpool. Just suddenly pull some. Oh yeah, right out of my hat, baby. Come on. It's about those Raiders and Devante Adams, and we just wanted to say goodnight.